This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, A Better Road Planner, Elbilmek, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We are now in Fornebu. Today I'm gonna do a quick first impression of this Volvo EX60. And the first thing I noticed is that, well, I can show better here. It appears to not be that tall. It has been squished a little bit in height and then stretched out. So it's like an XC60 follower, but it seems to be more like a station wagon actually. And then in the front, okay, we have the Thor's hammer. But let me show you the big front. Okay, there's a safety thing here. There, yeah. And voila. So yeah, actually nice. In my standard, it will probably fit one banana box here. But you can fit some luggage here, maybe even a small stroller. And it has a rubber seal here, and actually extra space there. Yeah, and look, this is what I love about some of the Volvos. They have a big opening, but it's actually a funnel. Very easy to fill in the washer fluid here. And just one lid. Some cars, they have a lid under a lid. And then also struts to hold up the front. Very nice. Let me check here. Also something else. Okay. Oh yeah, no, there. The nozzles. We'll find out where they are. It could be on the arm. Not sure. Okay, but look here. So this is a new thing about the Volvo, is that the door handle is here. There's no door handle here anymore. It's just here. There's a button, but this doesn't move. It's just a sensor there to detect that you. What? Oh, there. Detect that you want to open it. It's a button on the inside, and also to lock it, there's a sensor on the outside here. So yeah, interesting. I asked the Volvo guys, what in the event of a flat 12-volt battery? Well, supposedly then you have to pull a Tesla, because since there's no physical opening, you have to go in the back somewhere and then find the 12-volt battery and then jump start it. I'm not gonna show you how that is done, but I'm also not sure how it's done. Well, okay, let's check out the trunk then. We have this split opening here. You can open one side there, or you can open the other side there. And they have some accessories here. Wow, this thing is freaking deep, look at that. Yeah, that's very useful for storing more cargo. We have a 12-volt outlet in the back here. It's also very useful that it says how many watts it is. It's 10 amp fuse on it. And this 12-volt outlet will stay on even when the car is off and locked, as long as you have high enough main battery. So that's very useful for putting some, I don't know, the cooler box in the back here. So it has some pockets on the side here and here. And then it has quite sturdy hooks for secure cargo. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here. And this parcel shelf can be stored under here also. And then here you can fold the seats with a button. But you have to take it up again. So okay, that's very useful. And then we have the anhakkoppling out. Yeah, I think that's the button for the anhakkoppling. Not sure how you. Oh, it's fully automated. Wow, very nice. Wait, let me check something. Since we already. Okay, there's some electronics here for the showroom thingy. Yeah, so there's where the anhakkoppling is. Okay, and the trunk closes like that. Oh, interesting. So there's a backup camera there. And then that's the button for opening the trunk. Wait, what? No, sorry, is that sensor? I'm a noob. Backup. The button for open trunk should usually be down here, yeah, very common placement. But the backup camera is not placed that low. So most other cars, backup camera would be roughly here. So having it higher up is better. There's no washer here, but it should get less schmutz. So this is the Ultra trim with the nice seats, the Bjorn and Wilkins, and also the glass roof that has that chromatic, whatever they call it, so you can make it diffuse or transparent. So yeah, we have two USB-C here, a little center pocket. You can change the HVAC here. seat heater, a pocket here. But they also say that it's not hard. You could kind of, I don't know if you must bump it in a bit. Nice side Bowers and Wilkins. This kind of opening on the doors. Some ambient lights here. It feels and sounds premium. It better be, because it has a quite premium price. Well, the hook here is neat, because this is the hook for putting coat or whatever, but you can also take it out for when you want to put in the securing for, securing the trunk when you fold the. So this is a multifunction. Nice. When it comes to the seating height, not the best. On the specification, it's supposed to be 31 centimeters. So, yeah, it's not like a tall SUV. It's more like I feel like this is more like an ID7. Headroom. Oh, actually plenty in the back here. So if I sit something like this, more like this way, okay. But as long as you sit more in the center, quite big headroom there, and then in the center seat, feels like even more. And then the check here. So this is split 40, 20, 40. So you can open here, and there's a glass or a cup holder here. No table or whatever in here, But when you fold this side, this literally becomes the ski opening. So it's a big ski opening. Now this is what I like: flat floor. Yeah, pure EV design, unlike the EX or the XC40, which is just a fossil car that has been electrified. So you actually have nice space here, and it doesn't feel nearly as cramped as the XC40 or the EX40. And in the front, we have this Volvo style, as you guys know it. It's like a multi-function button, very intuitive, the way you can do several things with it. Lower the seat, go forward. Yeah, like it. And then the center button here can be used for multiple things. It will be a pop-up on the main screen when you touch this. Let me check here the breadcrumbs collector, just the manual. 15-inch main screen, and then I don't remember how big this is, but the instrument cluster is actually placed quite far away there. For example, in MEB cars or most other cars, it will be placed roughly here, right? But here, it's placed way over there. Oh, it has this diamond design thing here. Could slip on my fingers. And then there's some physical buttons for changing songs here. Okay. And then this is Google based. Yeah, good size on the screen. And then it has slightly different handles than what I've seen before. Nice resistance on the handles. Same on this side. Conventional blinker stock. You can do this, and then it seems like the lights are fairly good. Yeah, it has the pixel light in the Ultra version, and then the base or the lower trim has just regular, still matrix lights. I don't see anything here. Maybe it's not active. So a kind of different design than what I've seen on the other Volvos in the past in terms of interior. But then big center console here. This is freaking huge, man. What the heck? And then you can open up here, and you have plenty of space there. And then here I'll show you that we have the wireless charging. But it just disappears in there. Let me go slightly more forward. So, okay, so during driving, you probably have it like this. You can't really see your phone when it's there. Many cars will have the wireless charging pad roughly on this position or this position. But here it just disappears. On only one side where you have the wireless charging. This side is only for resting it. But yeah, so if you have two people in the front with you, then you have to decide who's gonna charge the phone first, right? And then here, some kind of center console. There, okay. Try to figure it out. Everything is quite intuitive, because this is the first time I actually sit in this, hence the first impression. So you have some cup holders there in the center. But then that means that there is no center console here then, because the thing just disappears. So you have space in here. This is a bit unusual. Buttons here seems to be okay. Okay resistance when I press on them. They don't feel too cheap. Some kind of demo. Yeah. Yeah, there's some kind of demo. Okay. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like the most premium thing, like in some Mercedes EQS whatever. So it's like it's in the middle there when it comes to premiumness on things here. Fairly big place there. Headroom, I put the seat in the lowest position. Plenty of headroom here. Well, this is what you expect from an SUV, right? Sun visor. All right. What about this side? The same, right? Yeah, the same design. Okay, that's pretty standard. And then finally, you can directly adjust the temperature in a Volvo. With other cars, more Polestar, you have to press it to bring up some kind of pop-up and then change temperature. But here, way better to be able to directly control it. And then here, we have lots of settings. Driving, controls, sound, charging. Yeah, seems to be fairly well organized. What? Wait, that's it? Not too many controls, right? So, yeah, we also have the Polestar Volvo style mirrors. The whole mirror thing moves, not just the mirror part. So stuff is done here, Yeah, left mirror. Oh, interesting. It's either left or right mirror to adjust it. And the steering wheel also, like, oh, this side. Okay. Yeah. Wait, does it have that lag? Yeah, there is this significant lag I've seen in other Volvo, also Polestar. When you press it, there's a couple of 100 milliseconds. It's not instant like in a Tesla or some of the other cars. Okay, but I'm probably nitpicking. Who cares about this, right? And the Ultra trim also comes with acoustic glass. So that's not standard on the lower trim. So that's it. I mean, overall, feels like a nice car. Yeah. Can't wait to test it. And well, didn't talk about the battery or whatever, but it comes in various battery sizes, charges pretty fast, and it has supposedly amazing range, 810 kilometers. Maybe I should test that, yeah, with the biggest battery. The press cars should be available late summer this year. So that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.